What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be showing you the Negotiators Dilemma gear set. This is, I believe, a very overlooked brand gear set because it absolutely wrecks. It is very good for crowd control. It can even be useful in legendaries. Basically, how it works is critical hits mark an enemy for up to 20 seconds, up to 3 marks total. When you critically hit a marked enemy, all other enemies take 60% of the damage dealt. Whenever a marked enemy dies, gain 2% critical hit damage, stacking up to 20 times until combat ends. So, basically, after 10 kills, you get 40% crit damage. That's basically what that means. And then, in terms of the pieces that you want to run, you can kind of, with this build, it's pretty flexible depending on if you're running solo or not. Generally, if I'm running solo, I run the Coyote Mask to give me some extra crit damage and crit chance, because it can be a little difficult to get crit chance on these builds. Depending on how you have it set up, if you're in a group, you can get away. If you're in a group with people wearing Coyote Masks, you can get away with a 40% crit chance easily, as long as 2 people are running them. So I wouldn't worry too much about how low it is unless you're running solo, which is why I run the Coyote Mask, but I am. So, the basic setup that I use is the 4-piece Negotiators Dilemma with crit damage rolled on every single piece, including the mod slots. I just so you know, the mod slots glitched on this one. It doesn't show it, but you can put it on. And then I run the Fox's Pair knee pads because it gives me amplified damage. So the way it is set up as you look at it right now is the one that's going to hit the hardest. Because that damage out of cover is going to give you more than the crit damage that you could possibly gain, which I believe I can get it close to 200 if I run it with all crit damage. Yeah, about 200. And then if you run it with strained, you get 50% there, and then you get 40% from the backpack. After you kill 10 enemies, you're pretty close to 300 crit damage. So it's pretty nasty. Basically, how you want to use it is use a fast-firing weapon to get them all marked, and you can switch to like a rifle, and it will kill all targets as you shoot them. Up to 3. If you're running the chest piece, you can get it up to 4 or 5. Excuse me. Generally, I wouldn't recommend that. I would just go for obliterate. It can be hard to get 5 targets marked unless they're all just standing right in front of you. But as far as the backpack, you definitely want to run that because it converts the 60% damage to all enemy shared to 100%. So it's basically 40% weapon damage when you think about it. So that's better than the Vigilance backpack. So that's how you want to run it. And then in terms of numbers, the way I have it set up, I have about 46% crit chance. So again, it's hard to get that crit chance up. You could sacrifice a little damage and put a different mod slot there to give you about 51. But generally, you don't want to run this build when you're solo. It's more for when there's lots of ads and you're in a group and people are running Coyote Masks to make up for that crit damage and the crowd control, if that makes sense. In terms of skills, you definitely want to keep yourself filled with the drone, and the decoy is actually really effective. I have found by far more than any other skill because it keeps them distracted and it allows you to easily mark them and pick which ones you want to mark, and then work your way through just absolutely annihilating hordes of enemies. It takes some practice. It is situational, but once you get it down and you figure out how to mark and shoot effectively, you can just absolutely melt enemies without having to shoot them. It's pretty awesome, and you stack just a crap ton of crit damage. So classic component A, your basic guns, ARs. I use a P416 with damage out of cover and strain because those are the kind of rolls you want on a assault rifle. And then that's pretty much it. I do use sharpshooter because it gives me weapon stability and headshot damage. So I kind of go for damage, so that's what it's all about. So that's definitely why you want to run that. The flashbang grenades are always very useful. in terms of stunning enemies and helping kill them quick. So it's got a huge radius. That's a basic setup. But I would run the basic setup if you have 2 Coyote masks in your group, like this, with the Fox's Prayer, the holster, the gloves, the backpack, and the mask, and then the chest piece with Obliterate, which you will get active pretty quickly with an assault rifle. Get it active. Let me show you. Just get it fully active, switch to your rifle. And you can pretty much keep it always active, as you can see at the bottom. That makes sense. So, if you have any questions, you can let me know in the Discord, and I will be sure to help you. Thank you.